Hi folks, welcome to another CraigsHack for Tableau. Today I would like to show you one of the cool new features that is now out in 2018.3, and this is set actions. I was first put onto the power of set actions when I got the opportunity to go to the Tableau conference in 2018. Bethany Lyons did some amazing presentations on what's possible with set actions. And so what I'd like to do today is take you through my take on that one using a EU Superstore example, heavily borrowed from Bethany's work. So let's have a quick look at what Bethany's got there. So if you haven't seen it already, get on and have a look at this Bethany's video recording of the Tableau conference presentation, and where she talks you through how the old filter, highlight, and URL actions did basically that, filter, highlight, and URL, whereas the set actions allow you to manipulate what's contained within a set, and then that opens up a world of opportunities in terms of grouping, coloring by, hiding, filtering, and using in calculations, etc. So if you haven't already had a look at some of the great examples of set actions in action, head to Bethany Lyons' Tableau public profile and download them and have a look. Now I've downloaded this map Drilldown. I wanted to show you just quickly what Bethany has put together there, and then we'll walk you through a Superstore example. So here is a viz on the median price for properties in the UK. So this is a high tier of postcode, and if we had to look at the Greater London, see if we click on that, see how it does a drill through. Same view. Now we're looking at a next tier down, and if we want to have a look at the next tier down from that in geographies, simply click on it, and it gives us a lowest level of postcode to show the median prices. So really, really good solution. Nice little interface here to reset back up to the highest level or to reset back to the second level. So I've begged and borrowed that solution, and I'm going to take you through now what I've come up with using the EU Superstore data. So let me just quickly show you what I have planned there for you. So I'm going to take you through a country, state, city interactive version using Superstore, and then I'm going to go back to a nice empty workbook and show you how it all hangs together, and take you through those 5 steps, and then at the end refer you to a workbook of mine up on Tableau Public if you want to download that and have a look. So I'm going to quickly take you through the final version of the EU Superstore 3-tier map drill down, and then I'm going to walk you through how it came together. So you'll see here, this is the countries of Europe, and this is the performance of profit ratio in 2017. And at the moment we're looking at that by country. So you can see here the UK has made 22% profit, the Netherlands 56% loss, and we have Belgium and so on. So the way this viz works is you can multi-select or single select countries of interest. So let's say I want to have a look at Netherlands, Belgium, and England. So what's happening there is just by selecting them, I'm now looking at that view by state. So you can see the UK has split into Wales, England, and Scotland. And we can see they're all performing pretty well, but we can see over here the Netherlands, all of the different states of the Netherlands are doing pretty bad, and some of them are making 100% loss, which can't be real good. And then we have some Belgian stuff. So we can go one step further, and let's say we want to find out a bit more about what's happening in England and Wales. So we can actually select those, and now it's going to drill through, and we can now looking at the things by city. So we can actually see, although England's doing quite well, there are some areas of poor performance there that we might need to have a closer look at. So you can see the kind of things that are in my tooltip there give you a bit of a hint on where we're headed to putting this together. We can see how we've got a show states true, show city true. And when I reset back to state, we can see that show states is true, but show city is false. And when we head back to the countries, we can see that is false and false. And we're using the number of countries and the number of selected countries as some logic to determine which tier of the map we should be looking at. So let's dive in and build this one from scratch, and let's just see how it all hangs together. So the first thing I'm going to do is connect to the EU Superstore data. And what we're going to do is just put country on a map here. There's all of our countries. And what we're going to do is create a set of countries. We'll call this one selected country. And let's just grab, say, Germany, France, and Ireland. And now that we've got our selected countries, we won't just color by that. We can see there are the 3 countries that are selected. Pretty easy peasy. All right, so the next thing that we need to calculate is how many countries do we have in our entire data set. So let's create a calculator field, and we'll call this one number of countries. We're going to count distinct. When we use that, however, you notice that is actually going to show us a count distinct per country. I'm looking for a total number of countries. So I'm going to make that into a level of detail calculation. I'm going to just make it a fixed LOD. By putting a squiggly bracket around it. That's the entire data set. And when we drag it back on now, you can see that we now have a total of 15 countries. And that's available to us at every mark that we have. So to work out the logic of whether we've selected all of these countries or just some of them, the next thing I want to do is create a selected country based upon our set. So if I create a calculator field and country, and I'm going to say if you're in the set, then show us the country name. So you can see, if we put that on the view here, we can see that we've got a selected country. It's going to be Ireland, but for this one here, selected country is null. Therefore, we can now create another calculator field where I'm just going to count those. Number of countries. And again, use that little squiggly bracket there. We count distinct so that we can get a total number of selected countries. Now we've got a number of selected countries. We can see that we've got that 3 selected countries is available no matter what mark. So now that I've got those 2 numbers, I can actually create a field here, which allows me to decide whether I want to show states or not. So I only want to show states when less than 15 countries have been selected. So I'm just going to say the number of selected countries is than the number of countries. That's going to be a true or false. So if I put that on here, at the moment, if I had only 3 countries selected, I want that show states to be true. However, if I go back into my edit set, and let's say I do all, I want that to turn to false, as it is because I'm viewing all countries. That's our top tier of breakdown. I'll just undo that. Get our settings back. So the next step is to actually then use the logic of show states to create a calculated field, which allows me to actually have the condition state. So if show states is true, then actually have the state name. Right now, if we pull that on there, you can see that it is going to try and show a state. And then for Ireland, there's a state of Cork, And for United Kingdom, there's a state of England, but there's also a Scotland and a Wales there that we can't yet see yet. So we'll get to that in due course. So the next step is to actually use that conditional state in a set. So I'm going to create a set here, and we'll call this one selected conditional states. And let's just say we'll select England for now. All right, so the next step is for us to do a show city layer. So this is a little bit more complicated. So we're going to say running show city. Now this one here is actually a bit tricky in that we want to say the max. And we'll do the max of the selected conditional states. And we need to just do a squiggly bracket there. One of those. Max squiggly bracket is true, and the count distinct. Oh, got the wrong bracket again. The count distinct of our same field is greater than 1. So what essentially that does is check to see whether our set is not null and it's got more than one value. So if that's true, then we want to show the city. So let's use that one to then create a couple of more things. So what we're going to do is just check back in on the 5 steps that we alluded to earlier. So we're creating the logic on which tier of geography to display. So show states, show city. We're going to create the sets. We've done that. Now we're going to create some filters to only display selected countries and states. And then we're going to create a geographical object that will dynamically play all 3 roles. Let's have a look at that one. So let us create a field called filter set. Oops. So we're going to say if show cities, then we want to use a set that's a parent of the cities, which is actually the state conditional set. Else if we want to show states, then we're going to see the parent of that, which is the selected countries. And if we don't want to see cities or states, then we're looking at countries. So we just want this to always be true. So what we can then do is use that to be a filter set. And we've always had that as true. And now, right now, we're back to, we're just looking at England because it's in our selected conditional states. But if we were to edit that state at all, we get back to all of those. And then we're going to do select our conditional countries. Let's get all of those back in the view here. And we're going to give this a bit of a test run. Before we test it out, let's create one last calculated field here. We're going to call this one geographic mark. And this one's as simple as if we're showing the cities, then we want to need to see the city. And if we are showing the states, spelling problem there. Let's go show states. Let's drag it in there. Else if show states, then we want to see the states. Else we really want to see the country then. So you want to see the conditional state there. Maybe not. See the state. See how that goes. Oh, just got to end it. All right, so geographic mark. Geographic mark. Notice this is an ABC. If we wanted to make this geography, we're really going to have to give it a geographic role. And because we've got country, state, city as a hierarchy, if we give it a geographical role and we create it from the lowest level of that hierarchy, we might be lucky and the Tableau might give us a bit of a win there. So we're seeing all of the countries. Let's test this thing out by creating some actions. So we're going to start creating a set value action. So I'm going to show regions. So we want to make it for the entire data set, and we'll say sample superstore, and we want to do the selected countries, and we want to add values to the set on a select. And while we're here, we're going to do another change set value, show cities. I'm having a typing issue today. So we're going to change the set for the conditional states, and we're also going to make that a select section. So let's give it a test run. So if we were to select these 4 countries, we drill in and we can see those 4 countries, but not the conditional state. I think we're going to just pull that one down to detail. And it hasn't given us what we needed. Oh, so we haven't got the geographic mark in there yet. Aha, that's a bit better. Now we can see these guys are actually states. All right, now let's test it one step further. Say if we just want to do Scotland and England, and we select those, we're drilling in and we're seeing the 3rd tier, which is our cities. So you can see how that's starting to hang together. Let's tidy this up a bit. So we'll make those circles a bit bigger. We might colour them by profit ratio instead of in and out of set, and we might give them a bit of transparency and a little border, and we might label them as well, and we might put the alignment in the centre of the circles there and allow the overlap. Might make it a little bit bigger than that, I think. Alrighty, so starting to get there. You can get to see the gist of that one. So let's pop them onto a dashboard and just see how that hangs together. So that's great. We've drilled into city, but how do we get back out to the state and then back to the country? So Bethany had a great solution there that I'm going to again borrow and steal. So there's the reset to highest level, reset to second level. Let's give that a shot. So let's go and create a new sheet here, and we're just going to say reset to country, and I'm going to hide that one, and we're just going to put country in at the level of detail, and we might make that a square or something, and that means that when I click on that one, by default I'm actually selecting all 15 countries. So you'll see how that works. Going to make those so you can't see the squares. Put that out there and put that on our dashboard. So I'm going to put that over here. Floater for now. Hide the title. Bring this over here. And now we can create another dashboard action. We're going to change the set value. So this time, when we click on sheet 2, we want to use our countries set, and we want to keep set values, I think it is. Let's give it a test run. So we reset back to country. Aha, we're back to the countries by the looks of things. So let's do the same thing. Call this reset to state. This time we'll just put our states in here. Might be conditional state, I can't remember. We'll try state for now. And Betty's conditional state. Let's give that one a shot. We'll bring this on. And we'll just do that same thing. We'll hide the title. And we'll create a dashboard action for our set on this one to EU Superstore to the selected conditional states. Keep set values, make it select. All right, so let's drill into here, get down to states, drill into here and get down to some cities. Cities. Anyway, we'll reset back to state. See that one works. Yep, and we'll reset back to country. Cool, that looks like it's working nicely. So just another quick recap on where that all hangs together. You can see that I've done a couple of little extra things here. I've allowed have a dynamic label up in my title, which makes use of that show state, show city tiers. And you can see I've just made some little hidden views there, so that when when the tier label is city or state, it shows. But if the tier label is country, then it's hiding. It's just a little extra nice thing to pop into the dashboard. So just to wrap up, I've put this dashboard up on my Tableau public profile, the Superstore map. But just a word of warning, it looks like this particular function of Tableau doesn't work on Tableau public. So if I select a couple of countries here, instead of them drilling through to state, you see nothing. So you see that the same thing happens on Bethany's views. So I'm thinking that Tableau need to work something out on Tableau public to get that feature up and running and able to be used. So over to you, Tableau. Don't wait too long. This is a really cool feature. We all want to use it. So thanks again for tuning in to another Craig's Hack for Tableau. See you next time.